That's our Mick Egan. Thanks to Ray and particularly to Sir Rodney for the excellent presentation of the box. How about our runner-up in last year's competition? It's our old mate Barry Steele. 140. Also in the lineup there, Ricky George. 316, the Fat Boy. 626. Pete in 652, and on the tail end of the grid there, the 193 car with Scott Harrington at the helm. So it's up to you, Mr. Starter. Let them go when you're ready. It's event number 1. 3 laps of non-contact racing before they get stuck in. So the very first race of the 2003 season gets underway. Vince Sharp waves that green flag with a ferocity only known here at Bovingdon Raceway. And through they come already, peeling off this first lap. And straight away it's the 179 car who gets himself in run three abreast, I'm told, into both the turns. Some of these cars are going. Remember, the first 3 laps do have to be run under conditions of non-contact before we get stuck in. Then they can spin the opponents out of the way. That's rookie banger racing. So 2 laps now into the race, and still that 179 car is our leader, David Smith in 179, now being challenged by the 477 machine. In second place, Dan Riddle. So it's Smith, then it's Riddle. There's a joke to there somewhere, but I'm not going to get involved with that one. Smith and Riddle then up front, 179 your leader, the red and white car, and second man just taking a bit of a spin there on the pits bend in that 477 car, Daniel Riddle. And and it's 340 who's just crept in the lead now, and that's in the hands of Colin Jones. There he goes across the line in that car, which has obviously been used before, but going very, very well, isn't it? Goes out wide though towards the Armco on the exit to the pits bend, cuts inside that back marker, and 344, the all-red car just currently exiting the turnstile bend now. 340, there he goes over the line, your current leader. 340, then 477. In second place, 477, Daniel Riddle, maintaining a good second place now and looking to catch up that 340 car. The 170. Moved through into third position in the hands of Ricky Smith. So it's Ricky Smith in 413, but there's a problem for second and third car. The third car goes through, overtaking the second car now. 413 then. Ricky Smith moves his way into second place, but leading now by a quarter of a lap, it has to be said, and looking very, very unassailable in this one. Colin Jones just about to cross the line again. There he goes. 340, your current leader. And it's 5 next time, Mr. Starter. Just 5 laps to go next time. My goodness me, what an opening race this is. Fantastic race going on out there. 340, your current leader, and in second place, it's the 179 car. Believe it or not, he's got back in. He's picked himself up. He's pulled his trousers back up, and he's going for it. In second place, then the 179 car of David Smith. So it's all go out there, but the 340 car still giving these drivers a bit of a lesson in driving here at Bovingdon Raceway, but there's problems for him. Oh dear, has that back axle taken a bad turn? Still going the 340 car, but he has got problems. The back axle is definitely taken a nasty old knock. Still your 179 car, and it's 114. Lee Rogers has moved into second place in the orange and black car. The red corn car just about to come past start control now. Lee Rogers then goes through in second place in 114, and it's all happening out there. 340 though, maintaining his lead with 2.5 laps to go. 340 is your current leader. He's right there, but Lee Rogers is gaining now. Lee Rogers in the Ford Escort, the orange and black car, the red corn car, written on the side, 114. Lee Rogers definitely gaining on your leader now in second place. 340, your leader, 114 with just a lap to go now. Who's it going to be? 340 crosses the line. All followed very, very closely there by 114. They both avoid that accident there involving some of the back markers, and it's the 340 car who's just about going to hang on, or is he? He's absolutely giving it everything he's got, is Lee Rogers, as he comes around the outside, but the 340 car of Colin Jones takes the flag. In second place then it's 114, Lee Rogers, and in third position, keep them coming, Mr. Starter. We do need a lot more finishes. Some of these cars are quite a bit down on those leading pair, so 477 gets the spin aside. They're right on the home straight starting line, but keep them coming, Mr. Starter. We do need some more finishes still. And can we go to reds, Mr. Lap Scorer, sir? And we can go to reds now, please, marshals. We can go to reds. So what a curtain raiser that was to the 2003 season. So then the green flag falls, and immediately we have a good leader out there. Going well is young Daniel Bradbury. Obviously got a lot of family kudos on his side. From Winners, of course, down there in Berkshire. It's the young Dan Bradbury in 168 showing them all the way to go here at Bovingdon this afternoon. Second place, it's 177, young Michael Mallet, another young man from a heavy pedigreed racing family, of course, in that 177 car, and also looking very good. In third place, and certainly not being outsmarted by these, it's only the third meeting for Josh Bramley in 156, but certainly getting a mean turn of speed in that third car there, the 156 car, and it's a spin arounder there for the, oh goodness me, it's all happening there on the far straight. The poor old 199 car of Scott Bourne really getting a clobbering. That's another beautifully prepared car, but for the moment at least it's very much in trouble there on the far straight. I'm sure the other youngsters will do their damnedest to miss it. He's now into the safety of the centre green, so we can continue. Another racing casualty over there on the far side, having his first meeting at Bovingdon today, and all the way down from Lowestoft to be with us in that 118 car, and it's an unfortunate early retirement then for Daniel Kennedy in 118. But back out there, there's quite a few cars still racing, and another bit of a retirement there for the 156 car of Josh Bramley from that third position. Back to the front runners then, and it's still our friend Dan Bradbury. Obviously, I think he must be the younger brother of Chris Bradbury, and he's certainly driving very much like his contemporary elder brother there, Chris Bradbury. He was a world champion, of course, in the mini stocks racing, and I'm sure if that world championship is revived, then Daniel Bradbury will go on and become another world champion as well from the same stable. So into race 7, and round about the halfway mark of this race now for the mini stocks, it's still 168 Daniel Bradbury leading. In second place now it's Todd Jones, a young man who really cut his teeth in a big way here at Bovingdon last year. 186 Todd Jones, and of course it's a red flag, please marshals, red flag. We have a driver in trouble, so we do cautiously for the youngster. So then it's back to racing action with 168 hanging on to what is now become a very narrow lead from Todd Jones in the 186 car, and a very quick looking 191 Aaron Morris breathing on their necks. But we do have a black cross situation, Mr. Starter, for that 186 car and the 191 car. So black cross for 186 and 191, and it's 5 this time round, Mr. Starter, as well. So 5 laps to go this time through for the 168 car, and a black cross for 186 and 191. But disposing then of the 168 car, through goes Aaron Morris in 191, and now the 114 car is right there in second place and chasing hard. Damien Wright looking very, very busy in this one, but Aaron Morris taking it up for the moment at least. But do remember, he does have a black cross against him. So first and second cars cross the line with just 4 laps to go. It's down to 3.5 as I speak. 191 then leads the race at the moment, on paper at least. Aaron Morris 191. Then it's 114 and the 141 car of Willie Squirrels Jr. from Heacham in Norfolk moves his way through into third position. World champion, of course, in the 141. So certainly making the journey all the way down from Norfolk today, and certainly making it very, very worthwhile as they come through this time with 2 laps to go. 191 your leader, Aaron Morris in second place and still doing his damnedest and trying very, very hard in that 114 car. It's Damien Wright. Third place now, there's a big challenge on between the 141 car of Willie Squirrels Jr. and that other youngster of the tracks, Dean O'Dell in 171. These two absolutely inseparable for speed, and Dean O'Dell there nadgering away at the tail end of the 141 car, but I can see that checkered flag being readied for the 191 car. So through comes Aaron Morris to take the checkered flag. Second place Damien Wright in 114, Dean O'Dell 171, and then in the 121 car, just after these, it was Henry King and 141 Willie Squirrels Jr. So that was how they crossed the line, but I can tell you that there possibly will be, it's red flags now please marshals, I can tell you that is outside. Over there we've got the so the green flag falls, and we've already got a race on our hands here as the 361 car of Paul Stretton moves away from Charlie Hodges in 64. Merv Wag in number 12 making it through into third place in the 167 car, currently holding on to fourth. 9:31, one of our unexpected drivers this afternoon, Alan Gladden, goes past start control now, and the current world champion is very much in chase there in that 238 car. It may be of interest to everybody to know that in that 257 car of Peter Geimer, it's actually Les Mitchell, the son of the famous Fred Mitchell, who sadly left us a couple of seasons ago, but was one of the pioneers of big stock car racing. So actually Les Mitchell there in 257. But back to the race action itself, and it's still a convincing lead at the moment for Steve Stratton, I should say, in 361, and in 167, chasing hard but not making a great impact at the moment, is Stuart Wood there, 167, he goes through now. Steve Stratton then through to peel off another lap in the V8 stock cars. Likewise, the 167 machine of Stuart Wood. Then it's Merv Wagg in number 12. Current world champion goes through in the 238 car, that's Darren Mitchell. My goodness me, these are big V8 stock cars. They're given 16 laps per race in the heats, and these 16 laps absolutely flash by in no time at all, don't they? But here he comes again now to peel off yet another lap. 361 goes past in the lead. That's the man down from up Coventry way in that 361 car, Steve Stratton. And has certainly made a very long journey to be with us today, as has the man he's about to overtake now. He's actually up from West Drayton, so he's not quite so far afield. But still running that car in, and the car going reasonably well on its new engine there. So a lap down though for the 112 machine of Pete Stevens. Pete Stevens, of course, took the British Championship here last year, and very much a surprising race that was. Some of our big stars missing in this particular racing this afternoon, thanks to marriages abroad and one or two other things happening throughout the world, but nevertheless, enough cars out there. Oh, and it's a big spin. It's 5 laps to go this time, Mr. Starter, and a big spin for Roy Eaton in the number 17 car. So Roy Eaton there having to recover from that spin. He wasn't actually up in the top 5 racers in this one, so won't be too much of a disappointment for him. But coming up to lap Charlie Hodges now, with just 4.5 laps to go then. The 361 machine of Steve Stratton putting in an excellent account of itself here this afternoon. 361 goes through Steve Stratton. Then the chasing 167 car of Stuart Wood. In 3rd place now, it's that 238 machine of the current world champion. 238 is in the hands of Darren Mitchell, of course, the current world champion in this division of racing. So then 2.5 laps to go now for Steve Stratton in 361. 2.5 laps to go as I speak for the 167 car of Stuart Wood. So there he goes now, Stuart Wood, and it's another spin for Roy Eaton in the 17 car. So a bit of an adventurous afternoon for him out there this afternoon, but nevertheless now we're into the final lap of the race as 361 Steve Stratton goes through and takes that final lap forward. 238 still maintaining 3rd position on the track. 167 still there in 2nd place at the moment, but the checkered flag is raised. It's Steve Stratton, 361, through he goes, takes that checkered flag. 167 is there in 2nd place for Stuart Wood, and in 3rd place the current world champion himself, 238, that's Darren Mitchell. Keep them coming, Mr. Starter, if you can. We do need some more places down the tail end of the field filled in, but I think we can go to Reds now, please, marshals. While we have the wind down of that particular convincing win, that was for, let's hear it for the race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Stratton. Rolling for these, and ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Rookie Bangers as they go into their 2nd heat of the afternoon. So taking the green flag away, we have our race number 2 in motion this afternoon for the Rookie Bangers, and probably the best location in the world for watching Rookie Banger racing is right here at the Bovingdon Raceway. Getting into stuck into the first laps of this race, of course. Remember, it's 3 laps to go before there's any serious contact allowed between these cars. It's 4-1-2. 4-1-2 is your lead. Second position at the moment on the track there, it's the 166 car. So 166 in second place, that's Jeff Graves, but he's having to trail at the moment to the 412 machine of Howard Swallow. Black Cross for 315, Mr. Starter. Unusually for Kevin Payne there, one of our most experienced drivers. Oh, 315, not Kevin Payne. Kevin Payne takes a spin there though. And 419 and 315. Both receiving black crosses there for misdemeanors from our clerk of the course, but the rest of our drivers continue on their way, and it's the 166 car now that takes it up in lead position. 166, Jeff Graves has that lead position from the 142 from the 412 car of Howard Swallow. So black cross being handed out there by our star marshal this afternoon, Vince Sharp, and the 215 there taking the old 180 on the far straight. The other cars just about missing him at the moment. So one early retirements there for 109 and 503. They're both in the centre green. The 329 car never did make it onto the track. Oh, and one of the Fitkins there in trouble in the 85 car. I think that's young Peter Fitkin in 85. Having all sorts of problems here on the home straight as the cars absolutely hack towards him. He'll do well to get out of that spot as quickly as he possibly can. And 419 there, one of the race leaders earlier on, taking a big spin, but getting it back. That's one of the Team Dog's Head boys, and he's got all sorts of problems playing for him there, but they all get going again. The yellow flag is out to protect the driver of 622, who's not only got a flat tyre there, but an axle problem, so he abandons ship, and the rest of them continue to race on. But it's still 166, Jeff Graves, who is our race leader at the moment. 166, Jeff Graves. 29 car of Phil Broadfoot. So that poor old car up against the barriers there, taking yet another pounding, but that's how they go here in Rookie Bangers at Bovingdon Raceway. Certainly some contact always creeps into these races, and very, very fast and exciting racing it always is. So then 166 continues on his way in the lead of this one, and we get into lap number 10, so that means it's 5 this time, Mr. Starter. 5 laps to go this time through for your race leader. 166, the blue and maroon car there just managed to miss one of the back markers as he went through the entrance to the pit bend, but 315 puts him out wide towards the Armco. 466 though is putting in a challenge on our leading car, but he's a lap down as well, so continuing on his way then. Unchallenged at the moment goes Jeff Graves. There he is now, peeling off another lap. Jeff Graves in 166. Second place at the moment is 699. 699, your second place car, Mr. Starter, is Phil Broadfoot, and in third place it's Barry Williams, the Thatcher-based driver, in car 34. So 13 now has taken over that third place, and now of course is our old mate Pip Brooks. So nice to see Pip doing well in that 13 car. I believe he was racing that one at Wimbo a week or two ago, but he's still going strong, and good luck to him as he takes up third position in this particular race. Goodness me, it's all happening outside the control box here. Cars smashing into each other, but still a black cross for 697, Mr. Starter, but with just a lap and a half to go now. It's still our lead driver. He's led most of this race. Looks like he's going to pull off the entire race. 166, Jeff Graves, coming through with just a lap to go this time. An excellent drive then from Jeff Graves in 166. 699, still in second place Phil Broadfoot, and still in third place Pip Brooks in car number 13. So a lot of drivers abandoning ship now, and Tony Scott taking out one of the back markers in the 412 car, but they all continue on their way. Race is won though. 166 goes over, takes the checkered flag. Jeff Graves wins the race in the blue and purple car. And keep them coming, Mr. Starter. We do need plenty more finishes in this one to unlock those places. But no doubt about the winner, ladies and gentlemen. An excellent drive and a very well prepared car. Jeff Graves in 166, your race winner. And it's red flags now, please, marshals. Red flags all around the circuit to bring down the curtain on the second one of the afternoon for the rookie bangers. And what a race that was. For it, because here it comes, banger action, Bovingdon style. So it's green flags all the way, and Anthony Oak in that 471 car really got the pedal to the metal, hasn't he? Chased by Colin Farley all the way down though in that number 7, and it's 259, your current third place driver. But already tons of banger action in this one. Dave Smith though pulls it into the centre green, and it's a big spin round there, and a big coming together for 439 and 839. So a couple of drivers involved in that. 137 has done a 180 on the entrance to the turnstile bend there, but he gets away and gets that going again, as does the 627 car of former world champion Terry Coke. Ginger there has a bit of a trip round the outside in contact with the Armco, but keeps that one going. 206, somebody who needs no introduction at all, I'm sure. Dave King is doing quite well out there in this one for the Seasiders. 888 is going backwards at the moment. That's Ryan Flockton in that one, obviously a relative, I suggest, of Tricky Dicky there. That's Tricky Dicky's brother, no less. So Martin Lee over on the far side spins around in 802, as does 839. There's some banger drivers out there to hot rod today. There's others really getting stuck in on the heavy stuff. So continuing the race as they come through now, it's still number 7, Colin Farley in the lead, with the chasing Anthony Oak in 4:71. Anthony Oak has got an excellent record here at Bovingdon Raceway, I have to say, but certainly Colin Farley looking good in this one.
In that number 7 car.
Bovingdon Raceway, I have to say, but certainly Colin Farley looking good in this one, in that number 7 car. Former world champion, of course, is Farley, more than one time over, and it's a black flag, Mr. Starter, for 259. Black flag for 259. And that was certainly a heavy following there on the Armco. It's a waved yellow. We have an injured driver. Waved yellow. And we're going red. We're going red, Mr. Starter. We have serious concern for the driver there of that car. That must have been an absolutely almighty a follow-in there to the Armco, and we do need the.
What you gonna do with your life? Oh, daddy, you know you're still number one.
So then Colin Farley takes it up again in that number 7 car. There's no catching him this afternoon as the 888 car gets spun aside, and 802 that gets likewise. Oh dear, and some of these cars are really taking some punishment out there on the Bovingdon Raceway. But Colin Farley screams past start control, peeling off another lap in that number 7 car. 7 is your leader, but there's a challenge on now for second place as Anthony Oak goes wide in 4:71, and the number 4 car of Davy Wild goes through on the inside. The challenge remains though. This is a big one. Davy Wild takes it up now in second place, and if anything, I think Davy Wild is quite possibly lapping just a tad faster than Colin Farley in the number 7 car. It's number 7 from number 4, and 4:71 now in third place, waiting to pick up the pieces if anything happens to these two guys. My goodness me, Colin Farley then, with all his experience, world championships under his belt as well, with just 5 laps to go this time through, Mr. Starter. 5 laps to go for Colin Farley in first place. 5 laps to go for Davy Wild in second place in the number 4 car. 5 laps to go now for the Anthony Oak car of 4:71 in third position. Oh, and there's Terry Coke there on the receiving end of some big punishment from... Oh, and 363 takes a real pounding there. James Bully's car, 363 now, totally incapacitated on the pits bend. And 27 now laying into the car that's done all that sort of damage. But my goodness me, it's all happening here at Bovingdon this afternoon. But it's still Colin Farley who leads in the number 7 car from the number 4 car of Davy Wild. And Anthony... on the pits bend, and all of the cars now safely slowed down for that one, and the result will be declared for that one. Obviously a bit of shenanigans going on down there because they're in that one. Colin Farley therefore declared the race winner of that one, and in the number 4 car. there on the green bank. Happy birthday from Linda Stewart and all her friends. There we go, that's the birthday wishes all said and done, and it's eyes down looking for some more mini stocks racing as we go under starters orders for the second event of the afternoon for the mini stocks boys and girls. So the youngsters all get away under the green flag, waved by Vince Sharp, our star marshal this afternoon, and it's that 168 car again. Let's see if his luck holds a bit better than it did in the first race. Well, if you remember, he was spun into a 180 and didn't succeed in getting in the top three. But Daniel Bradbury, let's see if the luck rides a bit better with him this time round. So it's 168 your leader, 156 who also came a cropper during the course of the race. In second place in the hands of Josh Bramley, and in third place it's that Mallet man again, this time though the Michael Mallet representation of the family in third place in 177. 168, 156 and 177 on the circuit as they go now. 186 though begins to loom up in the mirrors, and that's Todd Jones, a young man who had a bit of an injury a couple of seasons ago, then fell off a bicycle and injured himself even worse, and glad to see that he's back and firing on all cylinders. His elder brother Murray, of course, was indeed one of the earlier track champions here at Bovingdon Raceway in the mini stocks, and I'm sure he would like very much to emulate Murray's achievements. So moving then into third place is Todd Jones, now in 186. Still a fair way back from the first place driver, but now putting in a challenge on the inside of the 156 car, and I think he's going to make that pay as they come through the turnstile bend now. Yes indeed, Todd Jones in 186 moves his way through into second place. But keep an eye on some of these red graders now, who are beginning to filter through very, very quickly indeed. The first of which is the 171 car, being ably driven by Dean Odell, making his way through the cars very, very quickly. Then it's the 141 car of young Willie Scoyles Jr., also coming through the back markers of the front runners very, very quickly indeed. But still high, wide and handsome, and out there representing Winners Plant Hire very well indeed, the 168 car of Daniel Bradbury. Here he comes now to peel off another lap. 168 your leader, and then in second place coming through now 186 Todd Jones, and in third place coming through now the 156 car of Josh Bramley. Certain little dice is happening up and down the field, and it's a spin there for a beautifully prepared car. Making his debut, the Braintree driver, Paul Brown Jr. in that 104 car, and debuting his racing accounts here at Bovingdon Raceway today. So it's a big welcome to him, Paul Brown Jr., all the way from Braintree to be with us today and making his absolute debut on the racing circuits. 5 laps then, 5 laps to go, Mr. Starter, for your lead car in the very capable hands of Daniel Bradbury. Don't know if he likes to be called Daniel or Dan. I think I'll call him Dan. It's easier to say. Dan Bradbury. Here he comes now with just 5 laps to go in that 168 car. In second place and hanging on very well in that second place, although not making a lot of got it within his sights, but just 3.5 laps for these guys to go. 3 laps in fact for Dan Bradbury, 168. 186 goes through in second, 171 now third. In fourth place now, the 537 car. So that car's made some very, very good ground in this one. Paul Scully from Arena Essex, representing the Arena boys. Paul Scully in 537 made very, very well up into fourth place now. But still your lead car with just 1.5 laps to go. It's 168 Dan Bradbury. And 177 now giving Bradbury some grief. He's a back marker, but nevertheless went in there a bit hard with the front bumper, but Bradbury was able to cope with that And now the second and third cars getting very, very close over this last half a lap. 168 leads Dan Bradbury. Then it's Todd Jones, 186. In third place and challenging with everything he's got, it's Dean O'Dell. But Bradbury wins from O'Dell. And then Jones in third. And fourth place goes to the 537 car. In fifth place it was young Willie Skiles in 141. And in sixth position, the 191 car, Ben Bradbury. So then it's away and under the green flags again for the second time of the afternoon, and as happened last time, we've got a very early leader in the shape of the 361 car, Steve Stratton, looking very, very dominant here this afternoon. Is Steve in the big thundering V8 engine car, but giving good chase this time, and a lot closer than he was last time. It's Stuart Wood in 167, whilst in third position, and also looking very swift indeed, is the 931 car in the hands this afternoon of Alan Gladden. And we're very glad to see him here, I have to say. Oh dear, stop kicking me, will you? Stop kicking me. 238 though, making his way through on the inside. And into third position in the race is the current world champion, 238, Darren Mitchell. Darren had a very, very exciting transition into becoming world champion last year in the Formula 8 stock car racing division. And he got some beautiful, if you get half a chance in the pits, do go up and check out the artwork on the 238 car, because it is absolutely magic. But nevertheless, he's using the car to very good effect in this second race of the afternoon for the V8s. And certainly that lead of Steve Stratton's now beginning to be closed down, not only by Stuart Wood, but also by the world champion, Darren Mitchell. So 361 then, Steve Stratton comes through to peel off another lap. And certainly now very, very close indeed is that 167 car of Stuart Wood. It's Stratton, then it's Wood, then the 238 car fighting to make up pace on these other two now. The world champion, Darren Mitchell, is certainly making up some ground. But back markers now begin to make their presence felt on this race. First the number 12 car of Merv Wagg, and then it's the 64 car of Charlie Hodges that these two have to negotiate a way round. Bit of sideways there as the 361 comes into the home straight. But still all the time the 167 car of Stuart Wood getting ever closer. Will he get close enough to get that big iron front bumper in on the V8 stock cars here this afternoon? And he comes through. Oh, there's a partial blockage here on the home straight as Merv Wagg's number 12 car comes to rest, and it's 5 to go, Mr. Starter. 5 to go as they come through next time for 361, your race leader. Steve Stratton and the 167 car of Stuart Wood. And while this is happening, oh, it's Wood going through now on the inside. Stratton has to settle for second place. He won't like that. Can he come back at Wood? Yes, he can. Keeps the pedal to the metal as they come into the pits bend. Oh, goes a bit wide, overdoes it there on the pits bend, which gives Darren Mitchell his chance to come through now and into second place with just 4 laps to go. This is coming up to a grandstand finale. Certainly Stratton not beaten yet, but it's Darren Mitchell now in 238 who looks to be filling up the mirrors of the 167 car of Stuart Wood. Is it going to be Wood? Is it going to be Mitchell? Stratton is still right there to pick up the pieces. Who is going to be the winner of this one? First, second and third with just 2.5 laps to go now. It's Wood, it's Mitchell, it's Stratton. It's as close as that as they come through the pits bend. This is going right down to the wire. Will the ironwork go in? There's a back marker in the way now, in the shape of the 112 car of Pete Stevens. Surely Stevens will realise this. Keep to the outside of the circuit. He does, but all too late with just 1 lap to go now. It's not Les Mitchell, Darren Mitchell, right on the tail end of the Wood car, 167. Who's it going to be? The ironwork goes in, up the near side goes Mitchell. There's a tangle. Stratton is back in the field again, but it's Mitchell. Mitchell comes through, 238. Darren Mitchell takes the race win. Second, it's Stuart Wood in 167. Third place. Make some noise, boys and girls. It's Darren Mitchell, the old it is, and it's banger time again. So the green flag falls and we're under starters orders again, and certainly some shenanigans out there and about on the first opening laps of this race, but it's that 412 car again that's found his way into the lead of this one, and Howard Swallow this time leads them through with 1 lap gone now. Remember, we do have to go 3 laps in the rookie banger racing before we are able to allow the cars to come into contact with each other. And a black cross then, Mr. Starter, for 193 for evasion of those rules. Pete Richardson has already spun round in the 652 car. Oh, almost a rollover there for 98 as he came onto the infield. 140 retires, and 98, Mr. Starter, a black cross for him as well. 316 also taking the black cross treatment. So all of these car numbers being noted down by our clerk of the course this afternoon, and 24 as well, but the 3 laps have now expired, so that should theoretically be the last one for contact. Oh, an 85 there taken out the wrong way. Didn't quite see which one did that. I think it was a 354 car, I'm not too sure about that one. So black cross for that, for Mr. Starter, for the taking out the 85 car the wrong way round. And the leader's just gone. The 4 taking a real dose of punishment there, our leader in the 412 car. And unfortunately, I think that's the end of the race for him. One of the Team Dogs head boys, of course, in that 412 car. And so it's 477. 477 then that takes it up. And that's Daniel Riddle. So Dan Riddle in 477 takes it up, but keep an eye on some of these superstars now working their way from the second half of cars on the grid. The 340 car looks rather badly damaged that won the first heat as he makes his way back onto the raceway now from the centre green, but the rear axle's gone. And it's a black flag for 208. Mr. Starter, who's just been spun on the far side, yellow car, just been spun on the far side of the circuit. Peter Fitkin comes back out from the centre green, but keep an eye out for your leader, who is last year's runner-up track champion. That's Carl Baker now in 216. 216 has gone through. The black car just entering the pits bend now. 216 Carl Baker just making his way. Oh, he's into the centre green. It's all gone wrong for him. 216, but he's making his way back out now. But 216, 34 though. 34 has gone through and taken it up, so it's 34. Oh, it's a red flag, Mr. Starter. Red flag, everybody. Red flags, please. Emergency situation. Great race win then for Barry Williams. mention his name, he pulls into the centre grade. David Simpson. 206 is there, and that's Dave King, and 294 also. So the green flag falls, and this time it's the last race is pretender to the throne. The number 4 car of Davy Wild takes it up, but there's an absolute smash and bash and coming together of cars right outside the control box here, and Ginger's involved in that in the 47 car, as is the 27 machine of Dale Hughes. Dale Hughes actually having to pull into the centre green. No further part in this one for him. Ginger also absolutely beached, and a big going in there on the pits bend. My goodness, that was certainly some coming together there on the 439 car. 670. Tricky Dicky Flockton though is still going. He's just overhauling the Ryan Flockton car over there on the far side. And but no doubt about who's winning this one by a mile. It's Davy Wild in the number 4 car. 72 then, just ploughed into the Armco by the younger Flockton brother there in 88. But gets back into the race action. That's Derek Drive, and Richard Flockton now absolutely belting round like the proverbial tank in a wasn't. But anyway, 137 continues down the fast straight. 294, he's back into the fray. That's Lee Hughes, and a number of these cars have got themselves going again, but I can't see the number 7 car. Yes, I can. Colin Farley is indeed still circulating. So 206, an early retirement from the last race is still going out there. That's the Seasiders representative of Dave King in that 206 car. Maverick is flying round again in that 46 car. As I say, Maverick, the hero of last Sunday at Wimbledon when he ran all 4 races for the National Bangers. An absolute marvellous achievement if you ask me. But then who am I? I'm only King Edward, and my word doesn't count for anything. But I'm pretty sure that if you ask the entire audience, they would say that Maverick had the night of nights a week or so ago at Wimbledon Raceway. Anyway, back to this one, and who's leading it? It's still number 4, Davy Wild. 294 now, moved up into second place is Lee Hughes, and number 7, Colin Farley, actually recorded in 3rd place, but he's getting the old heave-ho from Maverick in 46. 294 is he's mixing it with these two now. Who's it going to be? 7 emerges ahead of Maverick, but Maverick now in 46 is right there and moves through into... No, he doesn't. Farley's back again. It's Maverick now. Maverick in 46 in 2nd place. And on the outside of these two, my goodness, what a hot rod race these two are having. It's Maverick now just getting in front of Colin Farley. It's 5 to go next time through, Mr. Starter, for your lead car, which is number 4, Davy Wild. But all of the action is taking place for this 2nd place, which Maverick has now got the better of in the 46 car, and Colin Farley in that number 6. High, wide and handsome leader of this one, Davy Wild in car number 4, absolutely going potty over there, and got this one firmly between his teeth. And look at the 802 car and the 206 car, Kingy. They've collided down on the turnstile bend. They're locked together, these two cars, and Kingy's getting out. Kingy's getting out. The car's right across the raceway. My goodness me, that was something you don't often see in banger racing. So 8:02 unhitches himself and continues on his way, does Martin Lee. But the last lap board now, another 3-lap board, is going out. Former world champion Colin Farley in that number 7 car, former multiple world champion, I have to tell you. Colin Farley in the number 7 car coming through in 3rd place. Not so many of these big bangers still running now at this stage of the race. Tricky Dicky Flockton, though, is still out there in the 670 car and still running reasonably well in, let me see, he must be in 6th position out of the 7 or 8 cars still running, I rather suspect. Anthony Oak is still going well. He's currently occupying 5th place, and the 294 car now relegated to 4th for Lee Hughes. The checker flag is raised. It's a win for Davy Wild in the number 4 car. He certainly got out there, kept in front of all the opposition, and in 2nd place coming through now, should be anyway, there he goes, Maverick with Colin Farley putting in a tremendous late bid in the number 7 car. Not quite able to catch Maverick, but there they go, 2nd and 3rd really. Colin Farley in the number 7 car in 3rd position, 4th place going to the 294 car, and now it's red flag time, please. Red flags, marshals, to bring down the curtain on this one, and what a great banger race that was. Something. For 1 lap without any mishaps. The green flag falls and we are in business with the final of the afternoon for the rookie bangers. And it's all good clean stuff apart from 623. 623, Mr. Starter, first black cross of the afternoon. Remember, it's got to be 3 laps before those sort of shenanigans can take place. 280, Mr. Starter, the next one falling foul of the clerk of the course here this afternoon. They must race the first 3 laps as hot rods and not as bangers. So the 340 car comes to grief right outside the start control office, but gets going again. It's certainly a driver who's really up for it. That's rookie banger racing in style, I have to say. And oh dear me, grief for a number of drivers there, including the Hellfire man in the 466 car. And 354, Mr. Starter, a black cross for him as well. So the 3-lap board is currently out. After this lap, they can officially get stuck in to remove the enemy in front. But until then, oh dear oh me, it's a rollover! Derek Panther certainly felt the weight of that one. Is he okay? We look anxiously to see. Yes, Derek Panther is okay after that big rollover right outside the commentary box here. But a rather damaged car for Derek, and I don't think he's going to be taking any further part in this one. Makes his way to the safety of the infield. Stumpy as well in the 315 car has to abandon ship, as does Barry Steele in the 466 machine. 626 is another early demise from the race, as is 698 out there on the centre green. Back to our runners, and it's 6 laps gone with the 623 car currently in the lead. That's Gary Webb. A black flag, Mr. Starter, for 3-4-0 if he makes it back across the starting line. A black flag for, I don't think he's going to make it any further than that as it happens. I think he's going to have to abandon ship. Oh, goodness me, it's all happening over here right outside start control. So many cars coming into contact. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh my goodness me, this is absolutely Rookerbagger racing at its best. Can't even say it, but I can think it. My goodness me. 340 finally has to abandon ship. Full credit to him, he was absolutely nursing a dying car there. I think that car's going to be hit before the end of this race, though. It's right across the raceway. Spunky abandons ship out there in the 623 car. My goodness me, 215 keeps going well. And back to the actual leaders of the race. And 135, Kevin Payne takes it up. The orange and blue car of Kevin Payne in the 135 takes it up, and it's 5 laps next time through. Mr. Starter for Kevin Payne in the orange and blue 135 car. So there's not so many racing as there was a while ago, but they're still coming through some of those corners, line abreast, and my goodness me, it's a spin round then for 418, who goes round on the pits bend. 135 and Kevin Payne takes that 5-lap signal from start Marshall Vince Sharp, and 734 is very, very close, but it's actually Tony Scott in 323 who's currently occupying second place. Tony Scott then in 323 in second place at the moment. And he is quite the proverbial mile back then from Kevin Payne in that 135 car, who's coming under. Oh, Kevin Payne's been spun around. It's just a 45-degree spin though, and he manages to get that car going again. So Kevin Payne then in 135, he's recently relocated to Cambridge, and he said, I might not be able to do all of the season for you. He said, I'll see how it goes on this opening meeting. And what better way to open a race meeting, a race season's meeting, than to win the final. But he's just been pushed aside by 106. 106 has taken him out. And who does that leave as the race leader now? My goodness, we're waiting now for a race leader to come through. And it's Kevin Payne has got back right in front of second place man now. 135 leads from 323. It's as close as that. You can throw a blanket over these two. 135 leads, 323 is in second place, and Tony O'Leary now, the Bones man himself, goes through in the 77. Tony Scott comes to grief, and Kevin Payne carries on. So it's Kevin Payne now on through. He's been spun again now on the turnstile bend. Kevin Payne and Tony Scott comes through. Tony Scott comes through in 323 now to take it up. It's Tony Scott, your leader, from the 166 car now. 166, earlier race winner this afternoon. Jeff Graves is in second place, but Tony Scott, the old store of bagger racing and rookie bagger racing here at the Bovingdon Raceway, has done it again. He comes back from a short season last year, takes the final. What a win that is for Tony Scott. My goodness me, what a brilliant drive that was. Hard lines on Kevin Payne. Kevin Payne is still circulating, but 734 goes through in second place. Kevin Payne manages to complete the race after having been spun round again and again. Oh boy, what a race that was. Look at the litter of cars around the circuit. But it's red flags time now, marshals. But what a race that was, my goodness, and what a race to win for Tony Scott to mark his return to rookie bagger racing here at the Bovingdon Raceway. A rollover for Derek Panther, which put him out. Some of the really big names in rookie bagger racing fell foul in this one. The three, he was saying, is second. So, in the end then, a win for Tony Scott in 323. 734 it was. The enemies, maybe he hasn't. But, ladies and gentlemen, top of the world, there he is on top of his car. It's green flag time again, and that 168 emulates the thing he's done in the first two races this afternoon. Gets out there, gets the pedal to the metal, earns an early lead. It certainly paid off for him in the second heat of the afternoon. Let's see if it's going to pay off for him again in this final. Dan Bradbury then peels off the first lap, closely followed by the 177 car of Michael Mallet. Then it's Todd Jones in 186. The 127 car goes through after that. And sliding a bit wide there, the 537 car of Paul Scully. So there we are, but holding a very tight line and looking very good for this one in that 191 car is Aaron Morris. He didn't have a terribly good second race, but Aaron pushed wide there by the 171 car of Dean O'Dell, and it's Dean O'Dell who takes up the running in front of the other star graders. Aaron Morris also taking a biff there from young Willie Skiles in the 141 car. So Aaron Morris having a bit of a struggle with some of his contemporaries around him, but certainly leading the chase from the superstars. It's the 171 car again of Dean O'Dell. Back to the front, and it's Dan Bradbury peeling off the laps as we speak. Then it's Todd Jones now moved through into second place in front of the 177 car of Michael Mallet. Oh, just about squeezing round the 167 car there of Bradley Mullery. And Bradley obviously having a bit of a rough day in that 167 car, getting the fundamentals right, but not getting a great deal of speed from the car at the moment. However, high, wide and handsome still is Daniel Bradbury in 168, sponsored of course, like his brother, by Winners Plant Hire, and out to make his name in the mini stocks just in the way that his brother Chris Bradbury did before he went on to take championship honours in super stocks racing. So 168, the future is in his hands at the moment, but ominously in the rear view mirror now, Superstar all the way through from the back of the pack, Dean O'Dell in 171, and probably the fastest car out here this afternoon. I rather suspect he's now actually visibly peeling off the distance between himself and Dan Bradbury. So here we go, and in turn, actually, the 191 car of Aaron Morris is still very much in the proximity of these two as well. So Aaron Morris looking to improve on that third position of his. It's still Todd Jones there in fourth place, the 114 car of Damien Wright in fifth, and having to settle for sixth at the moment, he won't like that too much, is Willie Scholes Jr. in 141. But it's 5 laps to go next time, Mr. Starter, as this begins to grind up to a climax now in the final here at Bovingdon Raceway. 168, he's hanging on for the moment at least. But, oh my goodness, takes a tight line there, and Dan Bradbury opts for the inside line around Bovingdon Raceway, gets a tap in the tail end then from the 171 car of Dean O'Dell. Dean O'Dell forces him wide to make sure that nothing comes back from the 168 car. It does come back, but on the tail end of second place man now, 191, Aaron Morris. And it's Morris now going after the Dean O'Dell car, 171. A lot of back markers in the way as these laps begin to count down now, just 3 laps to go. And it's still the 171 car weaving between the back markers. A remarkable bit of driving, but even better driving then. Oh, and he's going to be taken out almost by the 191 car of Aaron Morris. Morris realising that that was possibly his last desperate chance of overtaking the 171 car. It's just 2.5 laps to go, and 171 now goes a bit wide, and Morris takes that inside line again. This is brilliant stuff from these two youngsters. It's Dean O'Dell hanging on in 171. Aaron Morris certainly not giving up. Aaron Morris wants this. You can see physically the car's not quite as fast as the Dean O'Dell machine, but Aaron Morris wants this one. Another couple of back markers loom up in front of Dean O'Dell now. Which way does he go round them? Tries to take the outside, looks to the inside. It's the last lap, I think now. Half a lap to go, and it's just Dean O'Dell hanging on from Aaron Morris now. Dean O'Dell on the inside of the back markers. Craig Luckhurst looms up in front, but it's Dean O'Dell just takes it by the merest fraction then from the 191 car of Aaron Morris. Coming through in third place, it's the 168 car. The 168 car of Daniel Bradbury hangs on, getting on down there on the turnstile bend. And these guys, I think, are going to have their own private death destruction derby amongst these cars. A spin around there for Ryan Eaton into the 17 car. 137 makes his way back from the centre green out onto the main raceway. But it's 888 who has the race in his hands at the moment. That's young Ryan Flockton, but he's had a spin there on the turnstile on the pits bend. So taking it up again, believe it or not, it's that Davy Wild car, the number 4 machine. Not far behind him though is Colin Farley in number 7. And then the 46 car of Maverick. These 3 cars, I rather suspect, are going to have one hell of a race for this decision in today's banger final. Number 4, number 7 and 46, your 1, 2 and 3 cars at the moment. 294 wants to join in as well, and hardly surprising really. Lee Hughes has got a very fast motor there, so he's joining in at the moment in 4th position. So it's between these 4, I rather suspect, as Ryan Eaton recovers from another spin there into the centre green. Anthony Oak, not quite so impressive this time, and Ginger feels the Flockton car up beside him. Oh dear, as he's taken him rather heavily there by Tricky Dicky Flockton into the to Tricky Dicky Flockton, and Ginger, I'm sure, will have him in his sights at another meeting. So there we go, back to the leader, and it's still that Davy Wild car, the number 4, followed by Colin Farley in number 7. Maverick now making his move for 2nd place in the 46 car, and Colin Farley driving that car so hard that he's actually touching the Armco as he leaves the corners. Oh, and there's a surprise! The number 4 car, Davy Wild, has stacked into the tail end of a back marker, and so this duel that's going on now around the far end here is really between these 2, and it's Maverick that's taken it up from Colin Farley, and these 2 really are going for it now. Maverick just got his nose at the moment in front of Colin Farley, but will Farley be able to catch him? That's the question. It's Maverick leading Colin Farley. Maverick having a very, very wide turn there. Colin Farley just touching the Armco as he leaves the bend. But Maverick and Colin Farley now really having a dice between them. There are still some back markers to sort out though. The 888 car of Ryan Flockton is looming up in front of these 2, as indeed is Ryan Eaton. So the 2 Ryans, can they do anything about this racing pair? And it's 5 laps to go next time through, Mr. Starter. 5 laps for your race leader in the blue and grey car, the 46 machine of Maverick, being followed by Colin Farley in car number 7. Maverick leads the way with just 5 laps to go. So having their own private duel now, the number 4 car remains in 3rd place for David Wild, and Tricky Dicky Flockton in that 670 car is not actually in contention because the 839 car rather unceremoniously into the Armco there on the pits bend. 839 climbs free of the car, not to take any further part today. That's Daniel Hogg having to evict himself from that particular car. But still the race goes on. It's still Maverick there with 2.5 laps to go. Colin Farley not really able to change that unless anything fairly significant happens now over this last couple of laps. It's going to be another win for Maverick. That will be 5 races out of 5 that he's won. The other 4, of course, in the Jaguar at Wimbledon a week or so ago. But Colin Farley in Maverick's car. Maverick proudly painted on, what am I on about? Keith Painter in the Maverick car, the 46 machine. And he has got trouble from a back marker. And could this be the demise of Maverick? No, the 294 car is Lee Hughes, not able to keep with Maverick, so the checkered flag is raised. Maverick does it again, 46 your winner. In 2nd place, it's the number 7 car of Colin Farley. 3rd place, and a bit unlucky there, it has to be said, Davy Wild in the number 4 car. just one or two more to come through start control now, and it's 3 cars all lined abreast there on the far side, but all coming through now. It's red flags time, please, marshals. Red flags to bring down the curtain on this afternoon's national. So then, rather in the style that he has done in the earlier races this afternoon, it's Steve Stretton in that 361 car down from the Midlands, who really gets the car into racing mode very, very quickly indeed, and opens up quite a substantial gap between him and second place man who's coming through right now, and that's a driver having his debut meeting here at Bovingdon Raceway today, and we're very pleased to see him. He's out with the V8 stock cars, and very, very welcome here at Bovingdon. But already, I have to say, he's been overhauled by that absolutely flying 167 car of Stuart Wood. So Stuart Wood and Les Mitchell again already featuring in this race. I think it's all down to the big 3 again. It's Stretton, Wood and Mitchell for this one, as far as I can see. Nevertheless, as I was saying, it was very nice to see Alan Gladden turn out for us today in that 931 car. Also Pete Stevens, we hope that's the engine of that particular car fully running now. And nice to see Les Mitchell out there in the Peter Geimer car 257. If I get the chance after the meeting, I must go and shake that man's hand, because his father was one of my very, very earliest heroes on these small ovals. Nevertheless, 167 having a bit of a tangle now with the current world champion, 238, for second and third place. I think he's just about got away with that, as Darren Mitchell in 238. 167 Des Wood is having to settle, I think, for third place, although he's not letting him get too far away. And certainly, if Wood has a problem getting round the if Mitchell has a problem getting round the 361 Steve Stretton car, then this could be another 3-car finish as we had in the second heat of the afternoon. Bit of a spin round there for the 931 car of Alan Gladden. I'm sure he's going to get that car restarted and away from the raceway. The other drivers, I'm sure, will have seen that he stopped down there on the turnstile bend. He's now got the car to the safety of the infield, so we can continue racing. 361 then, 931 just recovering from that. 238 not really making too many inroads on the Steve Stretton car this time. He's obviously had those tangles with Stuart Wood along the way, and now the sands of time are running out. With 10 laps done, next time, Mr. Starr, it'll be five laps to go. Next time, not this time, but next time through. So 361 then, certainly on his way in this final of the afternoon. Always puts on a good show when he comes down from his Midlands base to Steve Stretton to race with us here at Bovingdon Raceway. And today, no exception at all. The world champion absolutely giving it all he's got in the 238 car, but not quite able to catch up with that 361 machine here this afternoon at Bovingdon. So 238 finds his way through on the inside of Charlie Hodges. Certainly gaining ground, but not quickly enough on the Steve Stretton car 361. With just 3 laps to go then, it's Steve Stretton, 361 your leader, goes a bit wide there on the pits bend, allows Mitchell just to catch up that important little bit. 3 laps to go this time then, 361, Stretton your leader, Mitchell in second place, and hanging on gamely to third place, it's still Stuart Wood in 167. Has he left it too late? A couple of laps still to go then. And certainly Mitchell just about getting on terms. There's a back marker showing up now in the shape of British champion Pete Stevens, 112. Is he going to realise this? Is he going to pull out of the way as we go into the last lap now? Steve Stretton really under pressure now as we go into the last lap. Surely there could have been an extra couple of laps in this race. It might have been a different outcome. But Steve Stretton in 361 now can almost coast home to a reasonably easy victory. 361 takes the decision. we await the emergency.
Yeah, I'll put it on you.
I've always been fussy. I have my cars always painted. I never race them unpainted, so it just looks better out there, doesn't it? Like, you know, same colours. It's just a good crack, you know. Any target, any caravan, it's got to be done, even if it isn't attached to the car anymore. You just got to do it and just make sure nothing's left at the end of it. No tactics, just make sure I do someone before I get done.
One lap and it'll be finished. Caravan will be no more.
There are tyres.
The caravan racing is another dimension in banger racing. It takes it on to something even crazier than banger. I mean, everybody likes to see the cars crash, but there's nothing more spectacular than a caravan crash, because when a caravan is hit, it sort of explodes and bits of it fly everywhere. Fortunately, we get very few people ever injured. It's just a great thing to watch the caravans race and to be able to see the caravans explode one after another. And sometimes we even have cars when a caravan is taken away from off of its trailing part, another car will then mount up the tail end of the caravan and go round, so that you can then got a car trailing another car, possibly even trailing its own caravan as well. So it's a stunning and really exciting thing to see. And of course it's comical and it's lively, and it's just what the audience loves to come and watch. Will be out again for you on Sunday week. That is one not to miss. After that, there'll be a 3-week break. 80s days, but we've got round 3 of the Superstock Grand Prix. The 8 stock ranger, leaving Scott Irons, of course, Get that one? And we've got 9 wins from 9 starts.
just doing a bit more demolition for the leader.
I managed to stay away from most of the carnage. I had a few goes at a couple of caravans, but I knew I was in for a chance of winning the trophy and the money, so I thought, well, I might as well go for it, and in the end it paid off.
Yeah, you can.